Welcome to Egg Foo. What? First and only podcast about people eating stuff. I'm Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of Egg Foo. What? Young Michael, how was your week?
It's about the same. I think I'm making progress with the sleeping. I got up at a normal time this morning.
What's the normal time?
Well, it was about 8:30.
All right.
And I wasn't up all night, so things are progressing there. Hopefully, I'll be a normal human being by the time we take our trip to California.
That didn't take long. Straight out of sleeping.
A couple weeks. Anyway, but so are you bringing a bathing suit to California?
Oh, Mike. Family show, bro. You know what?
Do you have a bathing suit?
I do have a bathing suit.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Thank you for that insulting.
No, it's insulting to me. I don't think I have a bathing suit anymore.
I assume there will be plenty of, how did the celebs say it? Pool time. So yes, I will have my bathing suit and with my tootsies ready to go in the pool. Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think the last time I needed a bathing suit was several years ago. So I don't know. I might have to rummage for that, but I don't think I'll be doing a lot of pool time.
Oh, no pool time for you?
I don't have the skin for lounging next to a pool all day.
So you got too much to do in this world?
Well, no, I'm thinking
goals?
I'm gonna be seeing the sights during the day rather than lounging by the pool.
Let me tell you about the sights during the day where we're going.
Where are we going?
The sights during the day are going to be me by the pool, and that's about it.
You haven't scoped out.
This is business, Mike. This isn't let me go to LA or whatever and just fritz around town. This is a business trip.
Okay, you're looking at it as business. Okay.
This is business. Okay. So you get your bathing suit, you get whatever you need to do and go have a good time in California while I'm out rubbing the elbows, pressing the flesh, kissing the babies, getting it done.
Are you lining up some West Coast podcasts for us?
No. No. You know what my plan was, though? As soon as you mentioned this a couple weeks back, whatever, I was like, we should stage a breakup. Like the second we're out there, we just tear into each other, explain to everybody we just broke up, and like spend the whole 3 days just moping.
Create some drama.
Create some drama.
I mean, I've already scoped out a Chinese place near the hotel.
Nice.
There's a place called Frontier Walk 2.
Well, Mike, if you give that away, then that means people are going to be lined up, hanging around, waiting to catch a glimpse of us.
I hope they deliver. But yeah.
That would be fun. Two of us actually sitting at a Chinese restaurant and eating. That would be fun.
Well, people are recommending that we go to an actual, really good Chinese restaurant, which would be nice. I guess we can look into that when we're out there.
Do we have any other plans we can tell our cherished listeners? Or
well,
or me?
I mean, I've been scoping out the old man bars. I think you saw that on Twitter.
Of course.
Because I wanted to watch the Giants game on Sunday. I couldn't even wrap my mind. Well, it's your team. We're playing your team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Nobody cares.
No, but I do.
Mike,
I've reached that point in life where, I just want to sit and watch football, have a few beers. That's a good time. That's a good time for me. I mean, what are you doing?
Not sitting around watching football.
No.
But again, you sit back and watch your games. I'll do all the business.
Business
for Egg Foo What?
Hey, speaking of business,
am I going to get lost when we get out there? The second we're out there, are you going to be like, "Oh, hey, Greg, good to see you for the first time in 20 years"? And then are you going to get lost in a sea of your celebrity friends? And I'm always going to be tagging along behind, hey, Mike, hey, Mike, and you're gonna be like, yeah, just wait right here. I'm talking to insert celebrity here. Is that how it's going to go?
Well, you are on a limited schedule. You're you since you've already had a vacation. This is your second vacation in what, less than a month?
Well, or a year. I mean, you could say it that way too. I mean,
But so yeah, our time is going to be limited to begin with. We're only going to have, well, we're not even, I mean, we're mostly going to be doing the 24-hour show for the bulk of your time there. And then we have, I guess, Thursday. Where are you going back on Thursday?
I'm going back Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening Thursday?
Well, I'm still there. I thought we could have
other,
had
I mean, other than that.
well, it's not the best show. The best show is going to be Tuesday and Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting in on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Monday night pretty much. And
That's
then the
it?
rest of the time is going to be over at the Forever Dog Studios, which is going to be fun. It's a bit of an endurance test, but it's going to be a fun endurance test. I don't know how long I'm going to make it. They're encouraging people to take some downtime, get some rest, and yet, and yet, I've been slotted in for a show at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Ouch.
So
I will be listening to that on my transistor radio, curled up in my bed.
So yeah, it's going to be a long schedule, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So what happens on Thursday I'm going to be missing?
Well, Thursday is just going to be post show.
Is that when all the good stuff happens?
well, no, I mean, it's, I've got a day. I mean, I'm going back early Friday, so Thursday is my last day. But I've got a couple things planned over the weekend. Got something planned for Monday that I'll be done by the time you get in.
What do you got planned for Monday?
I'll see you. What time do you get in?
I get it like 8 or 9 or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of late. So
I leave here like 6 or whatever.
Okay,
so
I guess we'll hit the clubs.
And then I'll meet you at the clubs.
Do a little clubbing.
I'll just listen for you.
Or most likely I'll be at another old man bar watching the Jets game.
All right. Even worse.
Jets are playing. Well, yeah, I'm calling them Monday night games, but it's actually the afternoon there. It's only like 5 p.m.
I mean,
so we
all
can do
the
the
years
clubbing.
I knew you in Brooklyn, and not once do I remember you like, I got to hurry back and get to the game. Oh shit, my Giants are playing this weekend, and now it seems like that's who you are, the old man just wanting to watch his Jets, Giants, whoever. Doesn't even matter.
What should I be doing? Gardening? You want me to be doing
Be
gardening?
better, That would be better. Nobody will tell you that's not better. I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I like how it's not even like you care that much about the Giants at this point. Giants, Jets, whatever football team is on the screen, that's what Mike's watching. And can I guess yelling at the TV a little bit? Is there going to be a little bit of that?
Yeah. I like the, from my bartending days.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fan participation at the bar, getting into little, fun spats with the Cowboys fans in the bar. It's too bad you're not there. I could, we could be yelling at each other.
Regrets.
You don't care much about your Cowboys anymore?
Well, I'm a grown man.
Okay.
So no.
No? All right.
No. I mean, I like it when I was a kid. I don't watch, unless it's with my nephew, I don't watch football. I mean, I don't care.
Okay. All right. I thought it was a thing. You did.
Yeah.
But you had that silk Cowboys jacket.
I did?
The hat.
Now, yeah, if 12-year-old Greggy could hear 50-year-old Greggy say this, he'd be horrified. But yeah, no interest. So.
Well, what are you planning on doing out there? Have you got some ideas?
Well, my big idea was the one about we break up, and that was going to be the.
So we're just going to be shooting some footage, some social media posts for
leading up to it, and then we have a screaming match.
We do have we have Tuesday. We have Tuesday, pretty much the full day until the best show starts.
Yeah, I assume I'm just gonna be walking around trying to capture brilliant footage of us, I guess, or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
All right. No interest in taking the Warner Brothers studio tour?
No.
No. Okay.
Are you doing it?
I might hit some of these things. I
All
made a
right.
little list, you know.
All right. I'm
No
not above
no
it.
no plans on hitting the Madame Tussauds wax museum.
Well, you just explained to me like I'm gonna be locked up in the Forever Dog studio
Well,
the whole time.
well, this week, no, we could do this on Tuesday early
Okay.
during the day.
All right. No,
Uh,
I don't know.
La Brea Tar Pits. Any interest?
No.
No. Champs Sports Pub.
What was that?
Champs Sports Pub.
No.
No.
If I'm not
Just-
going to tar pits, why am I? Oh, sports club?
Any restaurants? Have you scoped out any restaurants? Maybe we could go to
Where are we
brunch.
going to be exactly? Where?
We're
it
going to
LA?
be in Burbank.
Burbank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know anything. I'm not
There's
a good scouter. I'm good at showing up and being a delightful companion. I'm not a good scouter. I'm not a good researcher.
I mean, people have been sending me some suggestions.
They haven't been sending me suggestions. That is interesting.
Have you heard of the Amoeba Music store out there?
Yes.
Yeah. Any interest in going there?
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I'd go there.
Okay. I don't buy as much music as I used to. I've kind of tried to taper off on that.
Well, the free Spotify helps.
Well, it's not free.
Well,
Well,
free-ish.
okay.
As
Yeah.
free as you can get.
Oh, you listen to the commercials?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it's like what, $10 a month? I mean,
Yeah, it's like $10. Yeah.
come on.
Come on. Yeah, no, I was spending a lot more when I was buying CDs and
You
records.
just have that much fall out of your, after you with your food after eating at
Mhm.
these places. You'll be fine.
I mean, I was thinking, every week people don't see the behind the scenes, what's going on. It's getting more and more difficult for us to choose a dish. it's, I keep throwing out these shrimp dishes. I mean, I've got about 3 or 4 shrimp things that I'd like to try, but because of your stubbornness,
My what? My what?
stubbornness,
Say it. My what? Say it.
stubbornness
Oh.
to try new things. We've been
Shrimp
doing
is
these
not a, oh, let me
workarounds.
try a new thing. Shrimp is, it disgusts me. It horrifies me. I've tried it. The only problem is, since I order everything on Uber Eats, I'm not as likely to call up the restaurant and be like, hey, instead of shrimp flat noodle, can you give me pork flat noodle? Because again, I say this every week. I promise you, they'd be like, sure, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're the last person on earth who still calls the restaurant.
Hey,
but it is, to your point last week, it is getting to be where we are starting to expose. I feel like in the first half of our last year, we started to expose the Chinese menu as being Mexican menu-ish, in that, the old joke is all Mexican food's the same 3 things, just rearrange whatever. I think we've exposed that a lot of Chinese food is that too. Protein, steamed vegetables, some sort of goop, rice. I'm out.
And yet you threw me a curveball.
Thank you, Mike.
This morning by suggesting fried noodle.
Right.
And you had the whole listing. How many? 7 or 8 different things you could have the fried noodle with.
It was 9, Mike.
Okay. And none of my menus had any listing for fried noodle.
Yeah.
So I did a little Google research.
Ooh, little sleuthing.
And it turns out that I suspect the place you suggested is using that name in lieu of chow mein.
Just like we discovered last week, or you did.
Yeah.
So now, on top of all the dishes are the same anyway, now they're just literally giving each dish, like, I don't know, 3 different names to splatter about the menu. So it makes it look like, I don't know why a restaurant would do this, makes it look like there's 3,000 items instead of 4. which is what
Well,
it
it
should
just,
be.
it just makes it look like there's so much to choose from. There's, if you
Yeah,
can't
but,
find anything on the menu, then, maybe there's something wrong with you.
yeah. But
But
I wonder if it's intentional in terms of we'll just name the same dish a couple of names and that'll grab whoever. It's like selling Coca-Cola, but calling it pop or soda or Coke.
mhm,
Since you're like, well, what if somebody from Minnesota shows up? They're going to call it pop. I
mhm.
think that's rather. I think what I just laid out, that analogy is fairly brilliant in its succinctness
I'm not. No, I'm not
and
gonna.
and how true it is
I'm not gonna acknowledge that.
and the level of congratulations I'm giving it.
But
I wonder if that's. I think we've exposed the Chinese menu for what it is. Bullshit.
and I'm saying we're finding new mysteries,
Mhm.
because when I saw that fried noodle was also chow mein, I remembered when I had that, probably the worst experience I've had it in this whole journey, with chow mein. I remembered them asking me if it was the noodle or the regular kind or something
I
like that.
remember you kvetching about that.
Yeah,
That's right.
and now it's coming back, and I think that what you were seeing as fried noodle
Hmm.
is actually chow mein with the
Hmm.
noodles. Um, so we may get there in a future show.
I love that we've exposed the Chinese menu for being, I don't want to say total bullshit, but there's like four
Duplicitous.
duplicitous. Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
But you still seem to have a hard time wrapping your head around just because it says shrimp. It doesn't have to be shrimp.
Uh-huh.
You're still having a hard time with that.
Well, there's an item I've been eyeing for weeks now called astigmatic ginger shrimp,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not think you'll be able to get astigmatic
I thought it was aromatic.
ginger. Ginger. Well,
Astigmatic? What does that even mean?
no, I think that's an eye condition.
I'll take one.
Let me look at it again. I think you are right. Yeah,
Aromatic.
aromatic ginger shrimp. Astigmatic is a
It's
eye
eye condition.
condition. It's an eye condition
Decaying.
that I have. That's why I have to wear bifocals, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in this
Put in the
comments.
comments if
I'm wandering here.
you like
But
that
anyway,
aromatic shrimp.
yeah, it's getting more difficult. Let's put it that way. I did
What are we
see.
gonna do when we do look at a menu and we're like, there's literally nothing left for us? What are we gonna do?
Well, somebody has suggested sort of going into the direction of Thai food.
Nope.
No, why?
No.
Why?
That's just a slight variation on Chinese food. I mean,
Mhm.
it's gonna be the same thing.
Well, what would you suggest we do?
My first suggestion, I know will get shot down, is we just go back. We do egg foo young every week.
Do egg foo young every week.
Hey, there's no bad. I'm just throwing it out there, bro. No bad ideas.
And you're just going to find more and more places to go to, or you're just going to go to the same place every week?
We'll see.
You're going to be taking hour-long journeys to some new Chinese takeout you haven't had egg foo young from.
Tell you who I'm not calling from is whatever the place is ordered from today, and I have to look it up. I've never given any delivery driver less than 5 stars and 30% tip or whatever. I go down to meet this guy. It's like, he'll be here in a minute. And I see he's on a bike.
Yeah.
So I go outside and I kind of, and finally I see he's all the way down the block. He's coming my way. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I just kind of turn. I'm acting nonchalant. I don't want to stare at him as he's coming down the block,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be, so I'm kind of dicking around on my phone or whatever. And I look back and he's still like halfway there. Like he's still just taking his time. He's in no rush. I think he's literally like swaying back and forth on his bike. We lock eyes this time. He knows it's me. I'm standing there with that hopeful, do you have Chinese food look in my eye.
Is your tongue hanging out?
Tongue was hanging out. And then he finally gets to me, and then he just goes to slow down, and then just like cruises past me like another 10 feet. And as he's sailing by, I go, Greg?
The head nod. The head
And he
nod.
goes, yep. And just keeps sailing another 10 fucking years. I'm like, what is this for? I hate when Uber does that. They'll pull up and then pull up like another 10 feet. I'm like, what the fuck is this like? And so yeah, so then I'm like, fuck this. Yeah, and then
You had to walk to him?
I had to walk to him. And I forget what I said, something pleasant. And again, he's like, yeah, and just boom, takes off. Now, I'm less upset the fact that he just was like, yeah, whatever. Like he was a little rude, whatever. But the whole like slack cruising past me for another 10 feet. I didn't like that. That felt pointed. Like he was punishing me for something. But I'd already given him
there's a tip involved here, right?
Tip.
What's that?
I'd already given him a 29% tip.
29. Wow.
I don't know why in my Uber Eats it pops up as 29. I don't know. And yeah, this is the service I got. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I'm surprised that the tip is before the service.
On one hand, that's actually a good idea, you'd think theoretically, because then that means I tipped you a ton. I'd expect a little, not extra service, but your best, at least normal service. If I tip shitty, then I deserve it if you take a couple extra minutes. That is a good, why is the tipping at the end as opposed to maybe part of it can be in the beginning? What do you think about that?
Well, no, I hear what you're saying, but I think it should be at the end because then you make the decision for the full service.
Yeah, but then it's like, well, I'm never going to see this person again. You're not teaching them a lesson, really.
I mean, no, it's not about a lesson. It's about motivation. That if they do a good job, they'll get a decent tip.
This guy. Well, I guess I'm fighting my own case because, like I said, I pre-tipped just like you do, and he was like literally cruised by me.
Yeah.
So I'm not ordering from that place again. I'll have to look up what it is. Well, it's not even their fault. It's the Uber.
Yeah.
But that was only the second person that pissed me off. I don't know if I bitched about this before, but in a building, you have a badge, a work badge with your ID,
right?
Let you in the building. So at my office, you get out the elevator, you turn, there's the thing, you do your badge, and then there's a door. The door is like 5 feet away. You do the badge, take 2 steps, pull the door, you're in. If you're walking with people, you come out of the elevator, there's an unspoken social construct. I go do the badge. When the door opens, you pull the door and hold it open.
Yeah. Tag team, like a tag team.
Or vice versa. And you do nods. You probably had a nice chat. This motherfucker today, we go up, chit chat. I'm sure I'm saying something amazing, probably promoting the show. You're welcome. And we get to the thing. I go to do the badge, and she just stands by the door. I do the badge, and then she stands there.
No. Well,
I walk.
Wait a second. Your first scenario, I thought you were talking about like another guy, but it's a lady. So you're still obliged to open the door for her as a gentleman.
No, not in this case.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't think that's what she was thinking either.
Yeah.
This wasn't like your grandmother, like some petite,
I'm firing off a email to Emily Post on what is the correct.
No, not in this situation.
Yes.
In most situations, you're right. I'm happy I'll open the door. Hello, old lady. How was the war? Whatever. This was not the case. This first of all, this woman's half my age. But I've done this dance 1,000 times with people.
Was she on her phone? Was she preoccupied?
No, she was talking to me coming off the elevator.
So what was your response? Did you say, get the door?
No, I opened it and let her in. This was my response. 8 hours later, bitching about it to you. That's my response.
It was eating at you all day long.
I couldn't believe it.
that she didn't open the door when you
Yeah. Well, then
that-
a couple weeks ago, it's the end of the day, I'm walking out, and I see this some guy coming, and I look, and I hold the door. I go to open the door, hold the door open for him. And this is he looks like a kid, like his first job out of college kid, and he's doing his phone. Just comes walking right through. Doesn't look up, doesn't give me the nod, doesn't give a hey. And I'm like, is this your first day at work? And that's how you act to people? Like you just, like you better be the president's kid or something. So, but this morning I think pissed me off worse because like we have an arrangement.
No,
and
I'm with you on bad, the unacknowledged holding the door. I'm with you on that one. I
nothing
mean,
worse. Just give me the nod, a slight nod.
a
You don't
nod,
have to write a country western song about me. Little nod.
but I make the point. I even say it pretty loudly so people hear me because I tend to mumble.
Mhm.
I'll say thank you, thanks. I make a
Yeah,
point.
I do too. I do too.
This is just civilization.
Yes, I agree. I make a
and
point of saying thank you. But if I'm holding the door, all I ask from you is the little nod. That's all.
right.
That's the baseline. And certainly not to stand there waiting for me to take. Now, after the badge, I have to take the 2 or 3, 4 steps to then open the door. It's not even like I'm just standing there. Now I have to walk over to
But
where
is she in the way of you opening the door? Did you have to like excuse
Yeah,
yourself?
then I had to go around her
because
because she's standing in front of the door. So it's not like I do the badge, open the door, boom. How are you doing? Badge. I have to walk around her to open the door so she can just breeze in.
And you probably didn't even get a thank you. Did you
I
get
don't
a
remember.
thank
My steam was already coming out of my face.
you were enraged.
I kind of know her. I think she would have said thank you at that point. But by then I was already like, you're my enemy. I can't stand. I don't. Who lives like this? So that's 2 run-ins today that I'm not in love with.
Well, I've talked about my one.
Don't get on my list, Mike.
I've talked about my one-man war against self-checkout, and now there's some research that supports.
You'll have to fight me because I love the self-checkout.
They're saying that the self-checkout is contributing to the loneliness epidemic. And 40% of checkouts now are self-checkout. 66% claim they prefer self-checkout. So, I know I'm in a losing battle here.
Yes.
But I thought that this story at least supports my notion that it's not good for society, that people need what they call weak ties. And these are
what ties?
Weak ties. These are, these interactions you have at stores with cashiers, but you're a regular. So you get to know the person a little bit. But there's, it's
like having a corner bodega back in.
It's a low stakes relationship. We're just passing by, but we acknowledge the other person's existence.
I like that kind of relationship. Nod of the head. How you doing? See you tomorrow to get my paper. I like that.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to keep going. But the trends are going in the opposite direction, and some people actually prefer that. There's some people. 60%. I thought about you.
Thank you, buddy.
60% claim they prefer self-checkout because they don't want to engage in small talk. Sound like somebody we know?
You have to yell at me.
Sound like somebody we know?
Better than the small yelling. Hold on. Let me stop you there.
The man with small talk anxiety.
Again, with respect. I don't think anybody loves small talk, but I would refute this research of yours. People like to say things like, oh, I prefer that with a person. I like the interact. If you asked any of these people, would you like to have your normal shop and interact with the person and have a nice small talk conversation, or buy the same shit and saved a nickel through self-checkout, I promise you, 80% of the people will always choose, oh, I can save a nickel. They'll do that. People say shit like, oh, I want to interact with people at the checkout at Walmart. They're full of shit, except for really old people.
Well, that's what I was getting to, that for
Did
older
I scoop
people.
you?
No, a little. Well, you made an accurate observation
All I need to hear.
that
Thank you.
that for older people, and I consider myself in this group, since I don't see a lot of people during the day. But we need a little bit of socialization, let's put it that way, during the day. Otherwise, we're in our cocoons.
Yeah, but
We
would
don't.
you say you, like, let's say you, you'd consider yourself a bit of a curmudgeon, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but
In a lovable way.
yeah.
Like, do you sit around? Do you find yourself sitting around all day, thinking up ways for human interaction?
No, but I do feel good when I get out. I mean,
Right.
I don't like being in the house for several days without getting outside.
Like the Chinese food.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a nice interaction you get. Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Good to see you. I'll see you next week.
yeah.
What if they said you can have the exact same food for $5 less,
Hmm.
but
Well,
without the
nobody's doing
interaction?
this. This is you're coming up with this hypothetical that
It's not
is,
happening. It's called
isn't
Uber Eats.
happening. No, I just explained that the majority of people do want the self checkout.
Yes.
Not 80%. You threw out that number. I don't know where you got that number.
I think
I
a lot
threw
of
out a
people.
number from this study was 66%. So
I
two-thirds of
was.
people, two
I
thirds
think
of people.
I think when people are confronted with this, they feel like the right thing to say is, "Of course, I want a fuzzy human interaction." Blah blah blah. I think a lot of them are full of shit, except older people. Like I
Mhm.
know of people who've become Uber drivers just to talk to people.
Right. Get out
So
of the house.
that's a that's
Yeah.
fine. That's a percentage of people. But everybody says stuff like that. But then the second they're presented with a alternative to save a nickel, half of those people would jump ship immediately.
Well, I
People
think.
used to like their horses until cars came along.
Well,
That
I
had,
think I'm saying that people aren't even trying to put up a pretense anymore. They prefer the self checkout. You
and they
know.
should.
Yeah. So I mean, anyway. But
But you
my
say, but you're bemoaning the loss of another interaction.
yeah, I just think this idea of just sort of moving through the world without interacting with any person, it's a lonely world. Why, and it's like it makes people. I mean, I guess this is sort of an offshoot of the pandemic, where everybody was in fear of everybody else because they were going to make us sick.
Mhm.
So now maybe we have a little leftover of that paranoia. Oh, I don't want to interact with a human. He's going to make me sick. Um, but anyway, my
But
one
yeah,
man battle.
most. Plus, we forget, like you and I are kind of alone old men.
Mhm.
Most people are surrounded by people a lot. They have families and kids and whatever. And they don't want to deal with another person. So that's just my little bow tie on that.
Both sides. Well, since since we are have become somewhat limited in our choices, uh, I saw an item on. I guess most Chinese takeouts have the healthy the healthy food section. On my menu, it's called Dieter's Delight. And of course, it's the smallest section on the menu. We've already tried steamed chicken with broccoli. So this time, we're trying steamed chicken with cashew nuts. And when we did the chicken with cashew nuts, it's a nice. It's one of my favorites. It's a good one.
Mhm.
Um, the steamed chicken, it was interesting because I don't know how yours came. Mine came with the gravy on the side.
It was
Did
a
yours
great.
come? Yeah, did yours come with gravy?
Hmm.
Yeah, right.
But then again, I missed it last week. A lot of times there'll be a bag with sauce and stuff. I just kind of ignore.
Oh, really?
Maybe
Okay.
it was in there. Did I not send you my picture?
I didn't
Oh, I
see
guess
it
I
yet.
did. Okay. Sorry.
Anyway, so mine came with gravy on the side.
What kind of gravy?
It was interesting. It was kind of tangy. It wasn't the standard goop. It was kind of tangy and actually a little spicy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking, well, if I poured the whole gravy on this thing isn't a dieter's delight anymore. It's straight up,
Yeah.
fattening,
Yeah.
But you
That
have
is
the
delight.
option. I had the option. You're saying you don't think yours came with it? It was just.
Well, yeah, I didn't ask you anything when I was ordering it in terms of
Oh, I
sauce.
didn't ask for gravy on the side. It
Yeah.
just it just came with it.
I didn't notice any gravy.
Because I know you always have the option to get the gravy on the side.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. We should have done that with some of the goopier dishes
Mm-hmm.
and just get the dish with the gravy on the side. And this way we can sort of set our own,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of gravy. But so, yeah, so I used the gravy, probably did not make it as healthy.
No
So
delight for you.
it was tasty. Not a lot of nuts in mine. Plenty of filler though. I had the I had celery, I had squash, I had the snow peas, I had mushrooms, I had baby corn, um, lots of vegetables. I don't know about you with steamed chicken though. It kind of renders it pretty tasteless, right?
It's pretty tasteless, which is fine by me. Mine was like, I think when you see my picture, you'll describe it just like my dish from last week. Very clean looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was not tasteless. There is a plainness to it because of the chicken. Now, number one, this thing had the weirdest looking mushrooms in it, to the point where I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I always make fun, like for every dish, there's a different cut of chicken they seem to use.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
for some reason, for this dish, they're like, oh, bring out the fancy Lord of the Rings mushrooms.
It's funny you
Oh,
mentioned that. My mushrooms were mine
crazy.
were they look smaller. Were yours smaller or larger?
Large. These are like out of cartoon, like Mike Lisk and the Mushroom Gang.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, but this was also the biggest time I've been eating one of these dishes at work where I feel like it was almost unfair because I'm at work and the work I don't want to spread everything out, put the rice down on a dish, lay the chicken down on top. So I just was kind of eating it out of the thing it came from.
Yeah.
Which it was fine, but I don't know if that gives you the real total indication when you can kind of put it out and plate yourself, do whatever.
Yeah, I had to plate mine because I wanted to put the gravy down, the
Right.
rice. Yeah.
I didn't really get to do that. But it was fine. It was kind of tasteless. I mean, I could eat chicken and nuts and rice together, no problem. Other than the biggest cartoon mushrooms in the world, I don't remember there being as many vegetables as yours. But yeah, kind of plain, fine. If I ordered again, I would get it without mushrooms if they let you do that. And then at the bottom,
did you pick them out? Do you pick them out and put
I
them
just
on the
ate
side?
around them. Yeah, they're like they're big as like.
You eat around them. You can't even handle them.
Well, these were so big, they're like horns or something. Like you play them. These were and then I didn't make it to the bottom, like the bottom half. It just looked like used dishwater, like grim looking water that's been sitting there.
No, that's
I don't know if that was the gravy. I didn't get to it. I was like, yeah, it looks
now that sounds like excessive condensation.
yeah, slash grossness.
That's probably because the guy went 10 feet extra into delivery.
Sweat it all over. Yeah, too much.
Got some extra sweating in.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of a tasteless dish, perfectly fine, I've been running into a lot of those lately. I've noticed. I give it a the mushrooms are traumatizing. I don't want to know what was going on at the bottom with the funk sweat. I'm gonna bump it up a couple of notches because I think it would have done a little better in a better setting. Yeah, this was like same as last week. I'll give it a 6.9.
Yeah, I'll give mine a 7, and basically the 7 is for the gravy. If I had to eat mine without the gravy, it probably would have been about a 4 or 5.
I'm gonna write this score down. I stopped keeping track of my scores. What was last week? We had it was like the Singapore rice noodle.
Yeah, my fun.
Was that my fun?
Yeah.
Okay. I gave that a 6.9 too. I don't know why I care. I have half of our shows with the score. I'm sorry, what'd you give yours?
Give it about a 7
Yeah.
for its healthiness.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think mine was in a separate section, but I will say, yeah, it was, as healthy as these things can get. Now, I also hoovered a side of fried pork dumplings, so that wasn't healthy.
well, yeah, I had a small wonton soup, but I was so concerned that the Dieter's Delight would be so, you know, uh, light that I bought some boneless spare ribs on the side.
I'm with you.
I'll be snacking on those later.
To your delight.
To my delight, yes.
That's right.
So yeah, my dieting experience totally backfired. Not only with the gravy, but with ordering a side backup.
I'm curious about this gravy. Did you take a picture?
I thought it was just going to be like a typical no, I'll take a picture. But
because when you say gravy on this show, we mean one gravy.
Yeah, well, maybe the nitpickers will say, "Well, Mike, that isn't a gravy; that's a sauce," and then we're in the whole tomato sauce versus gravy.
By nitpickers, do you mean Jerry? Damn it, Mike! You can't be
Jerry.
scared anymore.
Jerry is our fact checker. That's the way I look at Jerry. Jerry's the pro. We're a couple rank amateurs. We're just dipping our toe in the game. He's been at it a long time. He's got a loyal following. We're just a couple of pikers.
Wouldn't it be great to watch Jerry watching us? Like, how many times when we're talking about the actual food, do you think Jerry he's like, motherfucker, are you?
No, he laughs. He's laughing at us, and I'm glad we're amusing him.
How many times does he mumble in his breath, though? You gotta be. What?
You know what, Jerry? I mean, I don't watch. What's his name? Portnoy. What's his name?
His name is Jerry.
No. The
famous
Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy. Yeah, I don't watch his videos. I only came across his video recently because the one where he was in Jerry's neighborhood, and he got this cheesesteak at a place. I didn't know his signature move is to carry the food outside and eat it in front of the restaurant. Did you know that? I guess usually he started off doing pizza.
Yeah, that's his thing, pizza. I used to watch. It's been a while. I got sucked. Those pizza videos are intoxicating. Like I don't love the whole barstool ethos. It's a little too bro-y for me. Maybe not you because you're Mr. Sit around and watch football.
Like I said, no, that's the vibe I got about it. I'm like, I'm not going to watch.
Yeah, but
I had no interest in him.
But about 4 or 5 years ago, I got sucked into watching those pizza reviews, and they're intoxicating. I stopped watching them. I literally watched so many, it would get to the point where I could kind of guess what he was going to give the pizza. Yeah, that's his thing. He gets a slice, whatever, and he walks out of the restaurant.
Okay. Well, in this first video I saw of his, he walks out with a cheesesteak sandwich, and the thing is the meat's coming out of the roll. There's so much meat on it. So him trying to juggle this thing and eat it, I mean, it was like absurd. And I was like, why is he even attempting to do that? Just because that's his thing to eat a slice? Yeah, but just be like a civilized human being and sit at a table with that sandwich. There's no way you can juggle that thing. Anyway, I thought it was bizarre. Probably be the last Dave Portnoy video I ever see.
I mean, he just
But
got his company handed back to him, so I don't think he's sweating it too much.
but
Why'd we bring that up?
we were talking about Jerry, and Jerry
Oh,
actually Jerry did a better video. He went back to the same place and he tried a few different things. And of course it was more thorough. This Portnoy guy, I guess he's just living off his reputation. He's got the big audience, so he just goes in, goes out, but Jerry keeps asking us to do a live show with him, and I keep putting him off. We gotta do that one of these days. He does live shows. I saw a bunch of food in the news items for you.
Can I do my food in the nude joke again?
Actually, this one story.
Uh-oh.
I'm almost reluctant to tell you this story because you're just going to use this forever to back up your I'm not going to eat fish. You don't eat any fish at all, right?
No, that's not true.
Oh,
in my later years, I've learned I try to eat fish.
Filet of sole.
Just whatever white fish. Not as much as I should. I'll eat a whitefish, drowned in malt vinegar, but.
Oh, okay. Now, like filet of sole is like delicious, I mean, that's like that was one of my go-to dishes at my local Italian place. But anyway, I'm going to tell you a horror story which will probably turn you off of fish altogether. A woman in the Philippines.
Thinking about something that I should stop eating, like burgers.
Well, no, I mean, you're not eating this particular fish. In this case, a woman in the Philippines was cleaning big head carp. I'm not familiar with that fish. I mean, I've heard of carp.
That's my high school nickname.
But I'm not familiar of the big head carp. And she's cleaning this fish, cutting it up, and she notices that the fish has human-like teeth. So imagine you're cleaning this fish and you open its mouth and there's these like human teeth. I mean, you have to Google this story to get the full impact.
What if one of them was gold?
Yeah, that would have been truly a nightmare. But the photos of these human-like teeth in this fish are scary. I mean, if you want to continue eating fish, I don't recommend you Google this story. But I saw that one. I'm like, oh, that'll put.
So you're not eating fish ever again?
No, I've had some disgusting interactions with fish. Oh. When I was in college, I worked at a supermarket during the summer, and the manager would always dream up these new things for me to clean. I was the cleanup guy. I had to get the carts in from the parking lot. I had to clean up the messes.
Paying your dues, bro.
I had to work the compactor with the cardboard and all that stuff. But anyway, he dreamed up this doozy of a job for me. Probably hadn't been done in 10 years. There was a shelf of herring in white sauce or cream sauce.
Ooh.
just the name.
Ugh.
And so imagine, nobody's cleaned the shelf where these jars of white herring and cream sauce are kept. And it was.
I like that note in that as you're talking about this fish with white cream sauce, which is inherently disgusting, you seem to want to throw in the fact that some dust may have built up on these shelves as like equally disgusting.
No.
Of the two, one is the lead and one is not.
No, I mean, what I was cleaning up on this shelf was not dust. It was leakage, from the jars, broken jars. Somebody didn't do a good cleanup in the past.
How does that not smell in the store like after?
Well, you're right, but I think maybe.
End of podcast.
I think maybe it was just so old that its odor had dissipated to the point where it didn't smell anymore.
Jeez, that's what I
anyway. But anyway, it put me off of herring and cream sauce for the rest of my life.
That's it for me. No more herring and cream sauce. Thanks, Mike. There goes my wedding reception.
But then another item, lots of fish in the news this week. In New York City, they've opened up a sardine store.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And I thought it was just like a pop-up, limited time store, but apparently this is part of a chain. It's called The Fantastic World of the Portuguese Sardine.
Very catchy.
It sounds
Falls
like
off the mouth.
Sounds like a Wes Anderson movie.
Jesus.
But apparently they've got 20 outlets around the world, and it's finally arrived in New York, and sardines have been declared the new it food.
How many variations of sardines can you, I mean, what do? You take them out of the can? Here you go.
Yeah, they come in cans, and I guess there's different oils that they soak in. I can honestly, I've never had herring and white cream sauce. I have never had a sardine.
I've never had either of those, but I can tell you this. I would have the sardine way before. I would try that way before any type of fish in a cream sauce.
Yeah, well, I have had
the sardine. It's probably gross, but it's probably just pure dry protein.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas anything in a white cream sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I have had anchovy, which is like a smaller fish than a sardine. I tried anchovy on pizza one time.
I've never heard anybody say anchovy.
Anchovies?
No.
It should be plural.
I mean, I'm not saying it should be. I'm just saying I think I've only ever heard it referenced as anybody want anchovies on their pizza.
Right.
I've never heard anybody so classy they say anchovy. Here's my Uncle John and his wife, my Aunt Anchovy.
Well, that's the official name. It's not, you don't always say, that's the singular.
Well, you've embarrassed me in front of our audience. Maybe I could crack a fucking book open once in a while.
Have you ever had you've had anchovies on pizza?
No.
I'm
disgusting. So.
It's just like a burst of salt. I just remember it being like, okay, maybe next time I'll get pizza with salt tablets on them, because it's about the same difference.
They always just seem like a punchline, like any shortcut, like even a comic strip, even like a Garfield comic strip. If he mentions the word sardines, it's supposed to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
So they've just always kind of been a punchline to me. But I'm glad to see that New York's finally getting cool after I left.
Sardines. With sardines. Yeah.
Speaking of fish, though, you know what I have to look forward to? As I packed my tuna fish sandwiches this morning, and then got here and realized, oh, that's right, it's Egg Foo What Day.
Uh-huh.
So I have 2 tuna fish sandwiches waiting for me after we're done here.
You got your backup meal.
That's my dinner.
There you go.
Looking forward to it.
Here's a question for you. Would you ever eat a dessert out of a toilet?
Well, what's in the toilet?
There's a restaurant in there's a restaurant named Gordo in Holon, south of Tel Aviv, Israel, where you can get a dessert. Mm-hmm. And it is chocolate ice cream splattered in a toilet. And the toilet is not small. It's not like, you're getting a, like the baseball helmet, you get some ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, this is a heavy looking, I don't know if it's porcelain, but it looks some substantial weight. And it's a toilet, and it's splattered to give the effect of a gastrointestinal disaster.
A little splatter flick.
You get some flecks, going up the side, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
you do take a picture, Mike.
People can look this up.
Keep going. I'm not getting this.
I'm not making this up, but yeah, the article I saw with this story, people are all smiles as the toilets are being placed on the table, and they're ready to dig in.
See, that's misleading because obviously, I mean, I understand the funny grossness of it, but obviously the toilets are sanitized and clean like any dish in the restaurant.
Right.
So once you get past the joke of it, now a real question would be, what would you eat that's so amazing you would eat it out of a real toilet? And what would that mean? Would the toilet be a working toilet, your toilet, a toilet out of Home Depot, a toilet filled? What do you think?
No, I would never do that.
There's no food that's so incredible you wouldn't eat that out of the toilet.
No.
Like, but what does that even mean? Like, let's say there's ice cream. We throw a bowl of ice cream in the toilet, it's just floating on the water like a boat. Then the ice cream is safe.
No.
It's just water. It's not after you use it.
I know. I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get me to admit that I would eat something out of the toilet, and I can never see myself doing that.
I mean, I'm not even gonna. You would for a price.
Oh no.
I'm not asking you to touch the food. Doesn't touch the toilet.
No.
Just the bowl floats in the water that's been flushed. It's clean.
What is your price
for a bowl of ice cream that's floating in the water? Come on, you do that for $20. Come on,
$20.
Come on. I'll make it easier. Your toilet, not like a random public bathroom.
No, that's probably worse.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
No. I've lived alone a long time, Greg, and when you live alone, things begin to slide a little. Until I mean, I
didn't
do.
know my bathroom had a door for like 8 years. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but no, I think we've had enough of this. But along similar lines, I read an article. This is something to keep in mind when you on your next flight. But I don't know why anybody in their right mind would ever do this. There was an article warning people, don't drink the tap water in a bathroom on a plane.
Well, number one, drinking the tap water.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is a notion that would never even occur. I mean, I know there's a sink in those tiny little bathrooms.
Yeah.
But to think that, while you're cleaning your hands, that maybe you'd scoop up a little water to drink. I mean, I don't think they have cups in there, right?
Not that I know of.
So you're gonna bring your own cup into the bathroom to get the tap water on a plane.
The most popular guy on the plane.
On a plane. Yeah. No.
I mean, nobody's ever going to go broke suggesting, hey, don't drink the tap water from anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to be wrong.
I drank the tap water in Bayonne. I never had any problems.
Yeah. It's like you're never going to lose that argument. Of course, don't drink the tap water here. Sure. But yeah, nobody's drinking tap. Who's the editor or whatever that came up with this brilliant? Who gave the writer this assignment? I mean,
it was
out of ideas on the internet.
It was a flight attendant offering her professional advice.
Got it.
But yeah, no, that is a slow newsday item.
But if I see a snake on the plane, should I curl up to it?
Yeah, no. Yeah. But other food in the news, I've got lots of items this week. Beer apparently is good for gut health.
Oh, it's got what is it, macrobiotics and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's got some sort of probiotic.
Some places, especially hundreds of years ago, it was safer to drink the beer more than water.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But apparently Gen Z is not going to benefit from this because they drink less, they socialize less. Happy hour is becoming a thing of the past, contributing again to the loneliness epidemic. I guess the loneliness epidemic is
I'm picking up on the fact that you seem worried about this loneliness epidemic. Talk to Uncle Greggy, buddy. What's happening? It's the second time you brought it up. Come on now.
Well, I'm living a somewhat reclusive life these days. I mean, not that I was out and about all the time in Bayonne, but down here, you have to drive everywhere, and I can't just, take a walk over to the local bar. I mean, I can drive there, but I'm trying to cut back on that. So yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time by myself in the house. I've got lots of things I should be doing. I've been putting that off. So I'm in the middle of an internal struggle to get my life back to normal, because it hasn't been normal for the last couple of years. I mean, I had to care for my father for 2 years, and that was very stressful. And I haven't, I got into my daily life is sort of hasn't really changed since my father passed away. I'm still here, but I'm not doing the things that I did for him. So it's just kind of like I'm in a bad rut as far as my daily life goes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it sounds like you do need to make an effort to get out and literally see people.
Yeah.
Because I do have to say, when we came back to the office after COVID or whatever, there is something to that idea of even just saying hi to some stranger. There is something to that. As much as I shit on it because I hate talking, there is something to that. And
well,
you have to make an effort, and I need to do it too.
Well, this swings around to my whole football routine. Once football season gets going, I have a regular get together with a couple friends over a friend's house.
Oh, there you go.
He lives nearby, so we all convene over there, and that's a nice little getaway. So that's going to start happening soon.
That's good. You got to have a little something to look forward to.
Yeah. No, I mean, I keep saying that I should get out to the reservoir. There's a really nice reservoir near me with a 5-mile trail around it. I used to be more regular to go out there and get the exercise. I haven't got myself motivated to do that yet. So I have the ideas to get, back to normal, but it just hasn't been executed. I'm hoping the trip to California will sort of break me out of my rut, and I'll come back and be newly invigorated.
Yeah. Plus summer ending can help.
Yeah.
With that.
I'm not a summer guy in general.
Yeah. Everything seemed to pick up after Labor Day, but yeah. I don't know. Like, I've kind of been in a holding pattern too. COVID, stay with my brother's family, which has been, good, but there is a kind of holding pattern to it that, it's not gonna be too long, but I was thinking, I'm getting bummed out. I don't want to step all over your being bummed out, so stop me if you would. Like my nephew just started his senior year the other day, and
high school,
yeah. Him, my 2 godsons, Jackie Watts, extra Watts superstar. They're all seniors in high school this year.
Wow.
And I'm really starting to notice my little band of minions.
Yeah. Okay.
Children who will one day rise to take care of me.
Right.
They're all getting older, and I'm getting bummed because I'm like, I've gotten so used to having this world of friends with little kids.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer in the beginning when they grow up old enough to, in the beginning, you're like a monkey bars to them. They just kind of walk all over you while they're talking. And It's fun. And then they get to be like, kids or whatever. So I'm already bummed that that stage has passed. And now they're all going to start leaving,
Yeah.
going to college. But then I hear myself and I'm like, Greg, they're not even your fucking kids. Can you can you go through empty nest syndrome
All right.
without having children?
Huh. Interesting question.
I said to my goddaughter down in Mexico, I'm like, how are you only 11? Like, I feel like I've known you like for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like I've had all this chapter of my life with all these young kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden they're not young. And
Yeah.
pretty soon they're going to be, I say gone, but it's not like they're living in my house under my roof.
Yeah. My niece and nephew are in college now.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's when that young, like you said, it's fun when the kids are young,
Yeah.
And
they're fun now, but it's like, so then I started thinking, is this an upcoming block of time for me? Like, I thought about it. If I had to divide my life into like blocks of time or whatever, or themes, like everybody else, 0 to 18, high school, you growing up, your family, blah, blah, blah. That's one block. Then college is its own thing. Then my 2 years in Mississippi. You see, I'm doing this with the hands.
Yeah. Okay. No, this is a good chronology.
It was only 2.5 years, whatever, Mississippi, but that's like a block. Obviously, my 15 years in Brooklyn is a block. And then boom, I moved to another block that's going on 11 years now of post Brooklyn, living in DC, first time trying to live like I don't even want to say adult, but like I have a real job.
I was going to say mature adult, but
yeah,
that's really pushing it.
That's a stretch. And so, that's kind of one block. And now I'm like, with these kids starting to transition and me becoming an empty nester, is that a signal like, all right, I have another block coming up. I should embrace it. I should define it myself as opposed to looking back. Oh, this was a block. This was a block. Should I use this as a time signifier? Okay, this is another block. Shift and do something. Not that I know what that would be or what. Does that make any sense to you at all?
Well, since I'm an outlier for you in that I'm 10 years ahead of you.
11.
Okay. But is it 11? I never really calculated. I always thought it was around 10.
10 and a half.
10 and a half.
10 and a half. I'll take 10 and a half.
But anyway, so look at what a mess my life is now.
It is a comfort.
Where it's just a sort of I felt like I had purpose when I was caring for my father. At least I had some purpose, I'm sort of free to look for employment, but if my 50s were any indication, it's sort of just setting myself up for more humiliation because nobody wants to hire a 60-year-old man. Let's just face it. Nobody wanted to hire.
Nobody wants to hire a 40-year-old man.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say nobody wanted to hire a 50-year-old man. Yeah. So now I'm on my 60s. I mean, fortunately, I'm not in a situation where, financially, I'm in, I'm okay. Financially, I'm okay. And I'm doing, getting some money through the podcast. By the way, I want to thank we've had
Hold up. Hold up.
Well, I don't want to cancel the surprise, but when we're in California, I will be presenting you with your first check.
Shut up. Are you kidding me?
Don't spend it all in one place. Don't spend it all in one place.
Shove that in my guidance counselor's face.
But I want to take this moment to thank, we have more subscribers, and that is an option. Every little bit helps. And I want to appreciate, we're in the double digits now of subscribers.
Oh, what were we before? I thought we already were.
We were in the single digits.
Oh.
So
subscribers, not
subscribers.
okay.
Subscribers.
Right.
These are the people who are making a full commitment that we know what we're doing and that we're going to keep making shows every week,
God
which
bless them.
is God bless them for having that hope. I wonder sometimes week to week whether we're going to make it. But
Heavy mind.
I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the show or contributed to the show.
I'm not privy to this information, but I appreciate it too.
Yeah, I'm
I
handling.
don't get to look at the books. It's funny. Mike lets me handle everything. Oh yeah, do this video, make that, do that, whatever you want to do. So yeah,
hey, you want to start paying for the Zoom, the Zoom thing?
Then the second I'm like, hey Mike, let me see the books. No.
The books. I'll send you a screenshot.
Would be
Make sure you're sitting down when you see the amount, though.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
I just want to close with
Mike was sitting on $41 million this whole time.
But one last item. I hate to have these little notes and not use them. Another item in the news, food item. You know how I like to run down Gen Z every week.
We hate you for that.
With their TikToks and this week, this recently, Gen Z has discovered pickles. They like pickles.
Pickle juice, like 15 years ago.
Well, they're doing all sorts of weird things. Yeah, the pickleback. Did you ever have a pickleback?
Oh yeah. Well, I love pickle juice. As a kid, I used to love drinking it.
Really? Okay.
Right before I left Brooklyn, it became a big thing.
Okay.
Pickleback, yeah.
Oh, so the birth of the pickleback.
That was like literally as I was leaving.
For people who don't know, a pickleback is when you do a shot, most likely Jameson, and then you do a shot of pickle juice on the side, which is just sort of like, to me, I called it training wheels. Drinking drinking with training wheels, because it made it go down easier, right? Okay, I get it. Yeah, but what is that the point? Why are you doing the shot then? Why don't you just drink the pickle juice?
Like your dog.
I
just put booze in pickle juice. Have they done that?
Well, they're doing all sorts of things.
I wonder if somebody's done that. They must have. There's no chance I just thought of that and nobody did 15 years before.
I mean, I saw this clip from one of these state fairs, and it was pickles in lemonade or something. And I'm like, okay, it's again these Franken drinks. Everybody's just trying to get something that goes viral, right? We all want that viral video. And which reminds me,
has mine gone viral yet? Has any of mine gone viral? Any of them? Check the numbers.
I have a great idea for a viral video, and
I'll have to look at the books.
I hope to do this out in California. We're going to have
to do a viral video.
Yeah, I mean,
you sound like a 60-year-old.
I want you to film it. I want to set up a little tripod and do it myself.
And then hit the go viral button.
Go viral, yeah.
What's the idea?
Well, I told you the idea last week, remember? Jersey Mike's. We'll discuss off air.
I was laughing before coming on. I wish somebody had been cataloging all the times during the episode I wrote down, oh, I'm going to do this.
Oh, right. Yeah.
This. Look at that. And I never do.
Well, no,
but it is genuine in the moment.
It is, of course. I've done the same thing.
Forget it the second we're done here.
Most recently, I said we were going to do the did you laugh? Did you think? Did you cry?
We haven't talked about that in weeks. I love
No, that's what I'm saying. I introduced that as being a feature of the show.
Then we forgot about it.
We never did. We never did it. Still a good idea, though, isn't it?
I like it.
And sometimes we do the fortune cookie. Sometimes we don't.
Oh, got one.
Holy cow. Better do it then.
Golden bowl. Where was that when we were talking about eating out of the toilet?
Yeah, you got the same brand. That's the same brand I have.
That's what we should call our toilet dessert company. Golden bowl.
They have a monopoly. We ought to go into the fortune cookie, man. That golden bowl is all over the East Coast.
How did we not notice that when we were talking about eating out of a shitter? All right. Oh, this is interesting. You bring up the Jimmy V thing. The reward for having feelings is great joy. It's not a fortune. It's kind of bullshit, but it does tie in nicely with the. You should at least feel something every day.
Yeah. Well, this ties into what I was just talking about, actually.
Oh.
Not having a goal is more to be feared than not reaching one.
Can I be real for a second here?
Yeah.
That kind of hits me because I've realized, and I think I brought that up here before. Actually, I know I have, because then you got this. I think I get a little depressed when I don't have something creative I'm working towards.
Right.
Whether it's a book or an album or whatever. I remember I brought this up like a year ago, and you were like, "You got this fucking podcast." I was like, "All right."
Oh, I'm going to say it again.
So when I hear that thing, it's like, yeah, I do get a little bummed when I don't have something working for, whether it's finished or not, or anybody gives a shit. It's beside the point. So I get bummed when I don't have something creative that I'm working on myself.
Yeah, I think everybody needs something to keep them moving forward, and I guess that's what's been hanging me up, is that I sort of got I got stagnant here. But at least I'm aware of the problem, right? Being aware of the problem is the first step. So I'm not writing myself off yet.
You got something to look forward to.
I do have lots. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite active with the podcast. That keeps me busy. It actually kept me sane when I was dealing with my father. It was a nice little distraction. So that was sort of what brought this on for me. So yeah,
other than physically, you probably have as much contact with your friends than anyone I know. I mean, with all the podcasts you have cooking,
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes I'm doing like 4 podcasts a week, so it's kind of like, okay, this is almost like a full-time job. It's a fun job, but I mean, I'm not getting rich from that, but
I'll have to see the books. But yeah, you know it's a thing. Yeah, we have California to look forward to, and you're in a new spot. You're screwed.
I'll muddle through. I'll muddle through as I always do,
or die trying.
Yeah, or die trying. Well, that's the best you can do, right? Anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening.
Can I tell you who the third person on my shit list today?
Oh, okay.
So when I was eating, I ate super early today. I don't know why.
Okay.
I was like the only person in the cafeteria.
Uh-huh.
And I start to chow down, whatever. All of a sudden, these 2 women come walking in. They stop and stand maybe 8 feet away from me in this cafeteria.
Uh-huh.
And I hear them talking. One of them's talking to the other, pointing stuff out. And so I'm like, oh, must be her first day. She's taking her around or whatever. They stood there for 15 minutes, just standing there, hovering over me. I'm like, can you fucking move? What are you doing? Like, you have this whole, like, it's like a gymnasium, and they're just parking right next to me, hovering over me while I'm trying to eat. Blah, blah, blah. Like, how do you do that? How do you not see, okay, in this 4,000 square foot space, maybe we don't need to be tucked in with the only guy sitting here eating. And they stood there for 15 minutes.
I'm familiar with the uncomfortable hover. It's I've witnessed it in the bar, where you're sitting at the bar and maybe the bar is filling up. And then somebody just decides you're the guy who they're going to stand behind.
Yeah.
They could have selected anybody at the bar.
Yeah.
But you're the guy they're going to stand by. And it got so irritating one time that I actually sort of brought it to this guy's attention. Things got a little tense. It was a young guy. Actually, it's two young guys.
Was it
This
me and Oprah?
a couple obnoxious young guys, and it was just like, yeah, have a little sense of where you are in this space. And I guess these people that you're describing, just yeah, people don't have that spatial awareness that they need to, give people their space, respect other people's space.
Yeah. I mean, at least in a bar, you're like, well, it's crowded. Everybody wants their drinks. Maybe you're drunk anyway.
Yeah, no.
That's bad enough, but that is annoying. Whereas this was just the middle of the day. Well, let's go stand over next to this guy who's trying to eat by himself. Who thinks like that?
When you started the story, I thought they were going to start making a commentary on the smell of your soup. What's that disgusting smell? You're sitting there. You're sitting there. What kind of soup? What kind of soup was it?
Wonton.
Wonton. Oh, okay.
This is the second straight wonton soup I've gotten that was disappointing. I didn't even think of that till just now. All of a sudden, all the wonton soups I'm getting has this much wonton and like this much dumpling or whatever. Very strange. But yeah, that annoyed the hell out of me. I guess three
people. What do you mean? Wait, hold on. Describe it. The wonton is the dumpling. What are you calling wonton?
I mean the pork part, the meat part.
Oh.
Like barely a nugget.
Oh,
okay. The rest is just this pile of pasta. Like,
see, I've actually had a complaint the last couple of times I've gotten wonton soup. The wontons are getting harder. You ever have like a hard wonton where it's like, usually I just use the spoon to sort of, cut it in half.
Yeah.
But these are like so hard, it's like a struggle just to get this spoon through it. I'm like, what? And then even when I'm eating it, it's kind of what is the term for spaghetti that's kind of firm?
Al dente?
Is that al dente? Okay, so it's.
Jeez, how old are you, Mike? You're having a hard time cutting through wonton soup?
No, but it's because they're harder. They're tighter, and usually
I think someone's getting softer.
No. I'll take a photograph next time to show you what I'm talking about.
All right.
But they're just these tighter not rock like, but just usually the wontons are kind of limp. They're soft, but these are tight ones.
I don't know that one.
Okay, well, something I've come across.
That's all I wanted to bet you about.
That's it.
Oh, I've been talking about Reel to Reel.
The reunion that never happened this summer. Yeah,
but nice announcement. 2 of our friends are going in the Hall of Fame. Shortstop, of course. And were you there when Mark Holling started playing? Favorite player?
Are they still playing?
No, they finally hung out their cleats, but both have been elected to the Williamsburg Softball Hall of Fame.
I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Well, I haven't gotten a call from them either. So very proud, our former teammates.
Well, hold on. What is it? What do they have? What do they have? A shelf on behind the turkey's nest that's going to be the Hall of Fame? I mean,
are you good on their achievements, Mike? What this is about?
I mean,
I don't know. I've never.
Who the hell organized a Hall of Fame?
I think it's nice
for a softball league.
I think it's nice. I think it's cool. I'm bummed. I'm bummed it happened before, like videotaping everything became a thing, because now we don't have a lot of those memories. But
right,
I'm pumped. I think it's a long time coming for both. They were 2 of the best players.
Where is the induction going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything.
I think it's going to be over at Pete's.
I'm not getting inducted. They didn't tell me where to go.
Enid's. Do any of these bars still exist?
Well, that's a good question. The Nest certainly exists. Yeah, I don't know all these questions, Mike. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. Well, want to ruin this nice moment.
We'll have to follow. It just sounds absurd to me.
All right.
Did JB Money make it?
There's been a few classes before. But I will say this: if JB Money is not in the Hall of Fame, this is a bullshit Hall of Fame. So he better be in. He better have been in the inaugural class. Let's say that about JB.
I agree.
Yeah. Without him, there's no Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I've thrown out the offer to him to be on the show, and he didn't seem very interested.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Did you mention me?
Yeah, I did mention you.
Probably don't remember me.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next week.
Do what Mike says about the like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.